Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Motorsport. A little bit of a change for myself coming from Wednesdays to Mondays, but as the saying goes, this change is as good as it gets. So let's get straight into it tonight. The 9ine5ive SimSport Invitational for the BMW mates at Phillip Island. It's a little cheeky one there. It's actually the BMW M8s, but a whole bunch of mates out for an invitational race tonight, ladies and gentlemen, around the famous Phillip Island circuit. Here down under, only about a 50-minute drive from me down here in Melbourne. And joining me tonight in the booth, the man on the buttons. He does a whole heap of work, the overlays, everything, the whole kit and caboodle. And he's the man behind the Real Sim Racing Australasia Super Series and Super 2 Series. JP joining me, mate. It's good to have you with me in the booth. We haven't done too much together. I think this is going to be our actual first commentary together side by side, and I'm looking forward to see what the night brings.
Yeah, mate, thanks very much for having me. It should be a real exciting night, and like you said, yeah, our first commentary together, so hopefully I won't get in your way, and we'll have a good call tonight.
Mate, good call it will be, and you're always on the buttons, bringing all the action and the pictures to everybody at home on the screens, wherever you're watching. Hope the weekend was good for you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long weekend for me down here for the Queen's birthday weekend in Melbourne. A nice 3-day weekend, and I was able to get a lot of stuff done. Thank you to the Melbourne government for giving us another lockdown with only a 25-kilometre radius outing. So not much you can really do out of my 25Ks here. So it was just a weekend spent at home on the race car. Nevertheless, let's get into the nitty-gritty and see what's coming to you tonight around Phillip Island, as all their cars are scrambling for qualifying. 4.4 kilometres in length around Phillip Island, 45 laps race distance, just shy of the 200-kilometre distance, 199.8 kilometres, and a fuel restriction of 59.8 litres. The boys tonight, they are going to be needing, it's 59.8 on the start. They need 103 litres all up to make it home. So there's going to be about a 40-litre splash and dash towards the end of the race. One compulsory pit stop, 2.4 litres fuel burn a lap in these BMWs. A little bit different to what JP and I are used to in the V8s, but nevertheless, they are a bag of fun. Tyre limit, optional. If you want to take tyres, you can take them, but these cars are made to go 2 to 3 stints without taking tyres, ladies and gentlemen. So watch who takes tyres and who doesn't. Track conditions, 14th of June 2021, 8:40 a.m. race start. So 12 hours in the past for us. And 18-degree air temp, 28 degrees out on track with a northerly wind direction of 4 kilometres an hour. And how about it? Phillip Island circuit. There's been a few little hips and nudges around Phillip Island in resulting the MotoGP on the news, whether Melbourne's going to be getting it this year due to the COVID restrictions. They're looking at giving the riders a 14-day lockdown like they do for the rest of the motorsport all around the world. But big names in the field tonight, ladies and gentlemen. James Scott goes to the pole, 124.45 already, showing amazing pace. Dylan Rudd not far behind him with a 124.52. Blake Delaney gets in a nice time at 124.56. His teammate from the Fishy Motorsports crew, Michael Whiting, 124.64. Simon Chadwick from the 9ine5ive Sim Boys. Dean Powell from the E1 Sim Racing crew sitting there in 6th. Blake Warboys in 7th. David Coleman in 8th. Peter Crossingham from the 9ine5ive Boys in, well, I'll scratch that one. He's just dropped right out of it. Blake Warboys in 7th. Alex Zaney in 8th. Christopher Mitchell in 9th. David Coleman in 10th. And JP, there's a few different names to what we're being seeing here tonight.
Yeah, 100%, mate. A lot of different names to what we're used to. A very different style of driving, but you can always see the cream always rising to the top with James Scott there putting his car up on pole. And there isn't a lot separating himself from Dylan Rudd behind him.
That Altus Astro Gaming BMW M8 is always on fire, and the man behind that wheel, he's a contender in the AOSC. He races in the V8 Scops for the supercars, and he's a force to reckon with tonight. He's going to be the benchmark tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And just a few little other bits and pieces as well. Just want to say a big thank you to the 9ine5ive boys for throwing on this invitational. It's meant to be the week off for the boys in the RSRA. They're meant to be in pre-qualifying at the moment to get ready for the Super Series and Super 2 Series, as we see a car off into the distance going out in the sand trap. Big thank you, though, to Macca and the boys over at 9ine5ive, but also a big thank you as well. John Lee, you'll see him flying around the track tonight in his BMW. John Lee from Racecraft over in WA. A huge thank you to him. He's a main sponsor for tonight, and he's also one of our sponsors for the RSRA too. SRT Australia, Nathan Bennett, I believe he's out on track tonight. My apologies. Sorry, I've got a note here saying that he just had knee surgery. So, Nathan, mate, unfortunate not to see you in the sim tonight and racing out on track. But again, thank you for SRT Australia. iClean Solar, Brenton, he's racing tonight. Racing Ears Custom Ears Protect for all your custom ear molds. Hayden and Jordan Sell, they're in the cars tonight as well. A different one. We don't usually see him out on track, usually JP, but RSW Graphics, Ross Stellon, he's in the car tonight as well. So any graphics that you need for your, whether it be the BMW, whether it be your supercar, your Skippy, whatever you are racing in a league or even the officials, hit up Ross from RSW Graphics. He does an amazing job. Ash Davis from the AD 3D printing service for all your 3D printing needs, and Benny Siren from Cutting Edge. Just a couple sponsors, and also for myself, I'll plug myself on this one as well. FU Suicide as well, ladies and gentlemen, raising funds for men's mental health for the Blue Ribbon Foundation. We're also on board for this one as well. 13 minutes nearly to go in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen, and Simon Chadwick has gone to the top with a 1:24.32. He's overtaken James Scott along with Michael Whiting as well. Michael Whiting now sits up in P2 there. So these boys are really throwing it around tonight, JP.
Yeah, they're having a red hot go tonight. Really great to see Simon up on the top at the moment. 1:22.34 was his pole lap. Michael Whiting right behind him there with a 1:22.43. So there's nothing in it at all.
Nothing in it at all. And ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a night full action-packed racing. Toddy Hayne, he's in there tonight. He's the runner-up for the Season 2 Nationwide Technology Systems Season 2 for that one. He's the runner-up for that one. And he was also first in the last race for the Invitational by the 9ine5ive boys. So you'll see him having the number one. There he is on the side of his BMW there. And like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not used to seeing these cars go around track at all. I know a little bit about them. I did the Daytona in the alongside the E1 Sim Racing boys. Did the Daytona in that and had an absolute stellar race in that one. They can handle the corners very well, and Phillip Island is definitely one for them. There's a lot of fast flowing corners through here. But what we will do as well, ladies and gentlemen, is we will bring up the man himself from his team chat. We'll drag him in unexpectedly and surprise him and see if he can take us on a hot lap eventually once he gets back around. Sean McNamara, mate, thank you for joining us in the commentary booth. How's the BMW looking out on track tonight so far?
Loving the Beamer, mate. It's got a little bit more grip and downforce than Supercar, I can tell you that.
Mate, these things are built for downforce, unlike the 650 horsepower busters that we're used to throwing around. Whereabouts are you floating around on track at the moment, mate?
P9 at the moment, mate. Just grabbing a set of tyres, about to go out and see what I can do. But yeah, P9 at the moment. Chadwick was sitting up the top there in P2, so that's pretty good. But yeah, just about to rock out of pit lane.
So far, 2 of the 9ine5ive boys sitting up in the top 10. You've got to be pretty happy with that. The one to look out for tonight, we know James Scott is fast, we know Dylan Rudd's fast, and so is Michael Whiting, but and the Fishy boys, I should say, Whiting and Delaney. But Simon Chadwick really knows how to throw the car around here by the looks of it.
Yeah, we did some practice on Sunday and mucked around in the toe, slipstream and all those bits and pieces, and found some pace for him. So yeah, he's put in just a little bit of traffic here, but yeah, he's put in an absolute stellar of a lap early. So We'll see what he can do when the fuel load comes off a bit.
Mate, we'll quickly talk before we just see coming out of Honda just there. We'll quickly talk to the race quickly. 45 laps, you need 103 litres of fuel all up. You only start with 59.8. Where's going to be your fuel window? There's going to be a lot of people pitting early and trying to get the undercut. Where do you think you're going to be pitting tonight, mate?
It's a great question. Can you let me know where I should pit?
I'm going to say try and run it on the 59.8, mate. See how much you can fuel save. And nah, the way I do that is hey, there goes a car around in front of him by the looks of it. That was one of your teammates almost.
It was.
All right, mate. Well, we'll let you have the floor as you come out of the final bend onto the main straight of Phillip Island and let us take us on a hot lap around Phillip Island.
Done deal. We'll see if we can't talk you through it. It's see if we can pick up a bit of a tow from our teammate Ash in front here. But so you're pretty much with the updates, you're pretty much flat through one these days. Just a little safety lit. Down a gear, down into fifth, deep into third gear here, down into second, around the apex. Pick up the throttle nice and early, that traction control does its job. Run it right out to the curb. Avoid the cars doing what they're doing. Up into fourth, fifth. Nice and deep under brakes here, down to first gear. Just dance it a bit on the back, try and stay off the curb, pick up the throttle hard early. Up into third, back into second, into Honda. Again, up through the gears, flat through this section. Again, a little bit different to the old supercar, but flat through here. Now up over the top's a bit of a trick. Down into third, pick up the throttle. Down into first here. This could work out really well with a tow here if Ash doesn't pit. Flat through this whole section. Oh, Ash, what are you doing to me? So flat through here. Lost a bit of time there, but up into sixth gear, and that's a lap of Phillip Island. I reckon we'll probably roll through a 24.91 on this lap, would be my guess. 9.2. So there you go. That's a lap of Phillip Island.
Mate, currently sitting just inside the top 10th position. It looks like it might be good for a decent race for you tonight. We never know if you've been a little bit unlucky in the NTS Super Series and got taken out quite a few times. But nevertheless, you came home with a couple top step podiums in the season there. Mate, just want to say a big thank you for putting on the Invitational tonight. And it's something a little bit different to what we used to driving in the BMW M8. So I'm going to start calling it the BMW Mates Series, which I reckon that should go pretty good off the tongue and maybe something into the future, we'd say. But look, nevertheless, thank you for putting this on. It gets a bunch of mates together to enjoy what we love doing. It's meant to be your week off from the RSRA, but you've decided to throw this up, get a few people in to turn some laps and put on a good show for the boys and girls at home.
Definitely, mate. It's what it's all about, thanking sponsors and thanking supporters of our team. And got a quick shout out to yourself, mate, JP as well. And we've got Alex, Jono and Mark in race control as well tonight. So, massive thanks to everyone that actually makes it happen. And, of course, Racecraft Simulations as a primary sponsor. And we just popped in a little bit of a better lap there, boys. They've thrown a little bit of money behind this as well with $50 of iRacing credits on the line for the top three, and we've got some amazing trophies from AD 3D printing and cutting edge tracks tonight as well. So a lot of people make it happen, and really excited for the night. So it should be good racing.
Mate, we'll let you get back into qualifying. There's only 6 minutes to go. So we'll let you try and get in a better time, try and get back inside the top 10 there. Jamie Dykes just tipped you there with a 1:24.76. So we'll let you try and find some more pace, try and get a tow off your teammate. But Godspeed tonight, mate, and hopefully speak to you in the post-race for the podium. If not, we'll certainly get you in here and then have another thanks coming your way.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
How was that, ladies and gentlemen? Sean McNamara, the man himself, the man who put all this together for us tonight to bring it to you. He's done a superb job. He's always under the pump. He runs the boys over at the 9.5. He's always busy working on the setups for him, trying to get every little millisecond of the supercar. And obviously tonight they've created the fixed setup for these BMW M8. And fix setup, you ask? Well, it's the same as the GAC series, the Goodyear Auto Care Runner V8 Super T2E series. They run a fixed setup, so one setup amongst 40 drivers. So, and that is how many we've got in the field tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 42 to be exact. As I just flick through my timing board there. 42 drivers out on the famous Phillip Island circuit on a fixed setup, so not much to change. It limits what you can change on the car, so it makes it a nice, even playing field, and that's why the times are so evenly spread, ladies and gentlemen. You've got literally a second in it from P1 to position 22. So that's 22 positions where Ross Allen just comes with a 125.32. He just comes in there scrapes in at P22 to make it a second difference from P1 to P22. JP, we see that a lot in the V8 supercars with the boys in the Super Series. How we can almost get the whole entire field within 1.5 seconds of each other. To have the M8s in it with a fixed setup, that just goes to show how well these cars can really handle around the track.
Yeah, 100%, Matt. These cars are awesome to drive. Plenty of downforce, plenty of grip. You can really get stuck into them, and yeah, it's showing with the lap times.
Just click over 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to finish up qualifying. Lights ablaze from one of the Fishy Motorsports boys. And how good does that livery look with the purple mirrors all over it, the green, the black, and then the chrome fish down the side. You would have seen those cars get around a fair bit. They do a lot of streaming. They do a lot of enduros together. Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting, Jamie Dyke. Those boys really know how to throw those cars around. And don't mistake Jamie Dyke either. He's a freak in the V8 supercar. James Scott still topping the time boards, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Chadwick in second, Dylan Rudd in third. Both of those are the 9.5 boys. Kobe Williams, Michael Whiting, Joshua Thomas, Todd Hayne, our reigning champion from the last Invitational. He's sitting down there in 7th position. Blake Delaney, Blake Warboys, and Jamie Dyke rounding out your top 10. And Sean McNamara just outside of the 10 there, sitting in 11th. Only a 10th, not even a 10th of 500ths of a second of getting inside the top 10 there. So hopefully he can make up some time. Other big names in the field tonight that I did see, ones that we aren't used to. Cameron Veacock's joining us from the NTS series. Aaron Hayden's joined us. Benny Siren, Mitch Campbell. There's quite a few of them tonight. Rainer Costello was meant to be joining us. Unfortunately, was fairly wrecked from the weekend. I believe he was racing in the kart. So he's not going to be able to get with us tonight, unfortunately. But some definitely different names to what we're seeing. And then obviously we've got race control tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. Live race control to help the boys out on track. Just calm down a little bit and not get too excited. Alex Court, Jono, and Mark Duggan over in race control helping us out. And obviously that won't be possible without those three boys. So they will hopefully not have a busy night tonight. We had a fairly busy 17 weeks over the course of starting up in the SimShed broadcasting crew with the live race control, but hopefully tonight they have a pretty cruisy night. And obviously Zach Caban and Chris Kisby, I'll start calling him Craig on purpose just to annoy him because I know how much it annoys him. But they will lead off the usually the Tuesday night motorsport for you guys, and then the Wednesday night motorsport's going to be brought to you by myself and possibly JP or a few other people, Peter, or there might even be Aiden Schultz as well joining me on that one for the RSR8. Nevertheless, minute and a half to go for the 9.5 Invitational BMW Mates for Monday night motorsport. It looks like qualifying has sorted itself out. Not many people moving around in the dying stages. Quite a few cars getting their last pit stop in to try and get out and get a decent time out on track and set it before we go racing for 45 laps around here with a one compulsory pit stop, whether it be for fuel and tyres or just fuel. But as stated earlier, ladies and gentlemen, they won't need tyres because unlike the supercar, as we see one of the 9.5 boys go off the track, is that one, the 9.59? And
That's,
I believe
Benny
that
Siren.
might be Benny Siren. So still learning the numbers. There's a lot of new liveries and a lot of new numbers out on track tonight. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, while myself and JP get used to those ones. JP will be able to help me out in calling those numbers out. He's got a memory like a camera. So photographic memory is the word I was looking for. So that's what that man has. He knows his stuff, that's for sure, and he can remember a number off the number to the driver with his eyes closed without even having to see the car. Just has to know the number, and he'll tell me the driver straight away. That's it, ladies and
I wish I was that good.
Mate, look at what you do on the side, mate. Look at the liveries you've had to whip up just for tonight. You've obviously had a base to start with from what you do. But while we wrap qualifying up, mate, just give yourself a little bit of a plug here and tell us about the SimShed broadcasting crew and what exactly you do over there.
Well, I do a little bit of everything, really. I mean, apart from running the JP SimShed side, the team, I also do the broadcasting side of things. So we broadcast currently 3 nights a week. This week it's only going to be 2 nights a week, tonight and Saturday. But we also run the Real Sim Racing Australia leagues now. So with the new season of Real Sim Racing Australia, with the V8 Super Series League and the Super 2 E Series coming up, starting next week. So I'm usually kept pretty busy during the week, and of course painting some of the liveries in the cars, but most of them now have been farmed out to painters like Ross. He's painted some of our cars. John from Flash Graphics, of course. Juan from iLiveries does a fantastic job.
Juan from iLiveries does an absolutely amazing job. He painted my helmet for me for the sim, and I even asked him if I could get that transplanted onto an actual real helmet in life, and he gave me the permission to do that. So it was an absolute honor to get something done by him, and what better way to get the helmet done. And Ross has also painted the supercar that I used to drive. I've unfortunately retired from full-time driving now, ladies and gentlemen. So it's to go into the commentary booth. That's my little fix for the sim racing side of things. I've got the real car sitting out in the shed, so I get my kick on the weekends off that. So life, unfortunately, is too busy. We've seen that with Laz. He's had to pull out of the NTS, or now the RSRA Super Series, due to life commitments. So a bit unfortunate. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are gritting up, and it's a rolling start. So that means we don't have to be under the pump to get this underway for you, to find out who's starting from where and what it's going to look like for you. But there it is, a massive, massive field tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen. 42 cars starting at Phillip Island, down here in Melbourne, Victoria, down under. Amazing weather out on track tonight. Should I say today for the boys, tonight for us at home, sitting here behind the computer screen. Not too long of a lap tonight, or race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Should only go for about just under an hour. Should be just over 50 minutes, I should say. And then obviously post-race after that one. So we should hopefully finish this up before 10:30 for you, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not too late of a one for you to get into bed nice and early. Just waiting for our last 2 drivers to grid up, 3, 4. Just waiting for 4 or 5 drivers to grid up at the moment. James Scott's still one. As you can see, there's a spot missing on the front row there. James Scott in the Astro Altus Gaming BMW there, waiting to grid up. And we'll be able to bring up the who's starting from where for you, ladies and gentlemen. But let's do it right now while we wait. We can just slowly go through it as these guys get a rolling start here at Phillip Island. James Scott takes out the top with a 1:24.23, the fastest lap of the night so far. Can he convert that into race pace? We'll have to wait and see. Simon Chadwick leaving just behind him from the 9ine5ive boys in row 2. Row 3, oh, sorry, should I say row 1? Row 2 is another 9ine5ive, Dylan Rudd, alongside Kobe Williams there in row 3. Michael Whiting from the Fishy Boys alongside Joshua Thomas. And row 4, we'll see Sean McNamara from the 9ine5ive. He ended up getting a cracking time in towards the end, starting alongside Jamie Dyke from the Fishy Boys. Todd Hayne our last invitational winner, starting down in 9th position. What can he do tonight? Starting alongside Blake Delaney in off row 5. Row 6, we'll see Blake Warboys and Rob Carmichael along the in the Fishy Motorsports there. Then Power from the C1 Sim Racing boys and Peter Crossingham from the 9ine5ive SimSport boys, starting out of row 7 there. Nathan Brown and Kyle Zink out of row 8. Row 9, we'll see Troy Maguire and David Coleman leave from there. Leaving from row 10, we'll see Alex Zaney and Ash Davis from the 9ine5ive boys. Row 11, Hayden Sull and Ross Thallon from RSW Graphics. It's good to see that man in a car instead of behind the computer screen painting up the cars for everybody. Good to see that man out on track and getting some track time in. I don't think he gets to do too much of it. Chris Carmichael and Alexander Newton out of row 12 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Row 13, we'll see Scott Barton and Ben Johannesson out of row 13. There, row 14, Mitch Campbell, Benny Siren, the two 9ine5ive boys lining up side by side. Aaron Hayden, Craig Schultz out of row 15. 16, we'll see Cameron Veacock and Tyson Hammer. As row 17, we'll see Peter Morris, Jordan Sell, and row, what is it there? I've just lost my numbers. Row 18, we'll see Brendan, I can't really read the last name there, ladies and gentlemen. Brendan and Anthony Jewell will leave row 18 there. And row 19, we'll see Benny Morris, Andrew Laughlin. And row 19, we'll see Jamie Davis, John Lee from Racecraft Simulations, and John Van Ree and Simon Farrington, or Faz as he is called, out of row 21. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The field is spread out. It's a long field tonight. They will start bunching up. The lights on the safety car are out. A little side note, the boys can't go racing till the lights go green. There is no jumping to get that jump. Once they go green, that's when they can go. Safety cars in. That 9ine5ive SimSport Invitational for the BMW mates on Monday Night Motorsport is about to go, ladies and gentlemen. They're waiting for the lights as they roll onto the straight. Who's going to lead them into the first corner? Red lights ablaze. And it's green. We are racing for Monday Night Motorsport, ladies and gentlemen. Little bit of a glitch going on in our end. Very big glitches. The internet is going haywire. There's a car off in the background from what I've saw. There's a few lock brakes. James Scott, by the looks of it's leading into turn 1. We apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what is happening. We believe it is an NBN network issue through the iRacing server, which is causing them to glitch out like that. We do not know what is actually happening. And it's making it very hard for us to commentate. But Jordan Sell is currently in first position. Somehow he's snuck up 33 positions, but he'll drop away. James Scott, though, is leading them away from Dylan Rudd, Kobe Williams, Josh Thomas. Simon Chadwick has dropped down to 6th position. Michael Whiting in 7th. Jamie Dyke in 8th. Blake Delaney in 9th. Rob Carmichael in 10th. Sean McNamara got an absolute woeful start. He's buried all the way down in 12th position now. Dean Powell had a big off. He's down 12 positions. He's in 25th position now as we try and sort out what's happening here. Car into the pits already. That most likely, it's Jordan Sell right there coming into the pits for you, ladies and gentlemen. Even though that you can't really see him on the screen and we can't see him either. So don't worry. The pictures you are getting, we are getting here in the booth. Lap 1 in the books, across for lap 2. Hopefully this issue sorts itself out very, very quickly. We might have to get race control to pull us under some safety car quickly to try and get this rectified for you, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. By the looks of it, they're on screen. We fixed the issue. JP has been extremely busy behind the scenes getting that sorted for you. A few little glitches here and there. He will get that sorted for you. He's working vigorously behind the scenes to try and find out what's happening and what's going on. It might be as simple as a Wi-Fi connection on his phone, just taking up that extra half a megabyte of bandwidth. So this must be the iRacing server, what I've been told by JP. It's the new update is bringing issues already, but it looks like they've sorted themselves out. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Out of the final corner, James Scott leads Dylan Rudd out of there. Josh Thomas not far behind. Dylan Rudd, though, all over the back of James Scott in the BMW. These two are wheeling it hard. Down the main straight they go. And there's iRacing again playing up. But how's the view coming down that main straight, ladies and gentlemen? That's what Phillip Island is famous for around here. Through turn one, through 2, 1 and 2, into 3 and 4 they come. Josh Thomas with the fastest lap of the race at 124.68. JP, obviously the pictures at the moment aren't too crash hot, but the racing so far is very sedate in the BMWs. There's not a lot of overtaking opportunities for them. By the looks of it, we might be having a safety car. They've all slowed right down. No, they're still racing. Very hard to overtake in these BMWs. Really rely on the slipstream, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, you know, you've got that aero wash from the car in front of you. Unfortunately, I've been clicking dials like a madman here, going through and checking everything to see what's not working. Everything seems to be working from our end, so it's really hard to diagnose why we're getting this this terrible lag. But I'm going to keep working on it and see if I can fix this. Otherwise, this is an iRacing issue, and when you notice, they seem to come good, and then halfway through the lap, they start to flicker out again.
Oh, they did just have a big update on that, mate. So I'll let you get busy and sit over there. I'll be able to take reins over here and continue on with the broadcast, no matter what in the comment, or should I say not the broadcast, but the commentary things. We'll let you do the camera angles and flick away and see what you can diagnose out of this whole situation. By the looks of it, they sort themselves out here and there. So this could be an iRacing issue, ladies and gentlemen. They did just go through a big update. It's end of season for them on the officials. So that's when they go through and do their big updates. They've just added a new track as well with a couple new cars. So a few things and little bugs that they have to sort out. But on screen there with Dylan Rudd in the 990, just behind James Scott, applying immense pressure. And not too far behind him's Josh Thomas from the Fishy crew there in the car number 866. And boy, do these BMWs look good. I said it earlier in the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not used to commentating on the BMWs. I'm used to the V8s where it's action-packed. The BMWs are nice and sedate around here. They've got all that aero to hug them into the road, which is what you need around Phillip Island. Try and do a supercar around here, it's like handling a bus, and a bus with a big air balloon on top of it as well. They want to float and slide and drift the whole way around Phillip Island here. It's almost like a Bathurst. The undulating, the elevation changes. It's big around here. And the load of the tyres, the right-hand side of the tyres cop an absolute thrashing around here at Phillip Island, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be surprised if you do see a couple drivers pitting in for tyres tonight in their compulsory pit stop. Ross Dallon in the pits. What could this be for? Is this an early pit stop? Or is this a retirement for him? He's in the pits. We'll keep you updated on that one, ladies and gentlemen.
We're seeing cars going in for an early stop, so maybe they're taking an early stop on this race, but I doubt it with their fuel restrictions. They need, I think it's about from memory, it's about 103 litres of fuel that they're going to need to do the race. So this is way too early for them to be stopping.
Definitely way too early. 103 litres all up for the race, JP. They start with 59.8, so that gives them roughly 43 litres to fill up on. Roughly, give or take, depending on whether they're going to be fuel saving through the race. But if you're going to be fuel saving, you're going to be slow. So this is going to be an all-out sprint, ladies and gentlemen. As we've still got this iRacing issue playing a hand, we do apologise for that. And hopefully it sorts itself out nice and quickly for you. Nevertheless, James Scott leading the field over Dylan Rudd, Kobe Williams, Josh Thomas, Simon Chadwick. He's made himself up to 5th position now. Jamie Dyke just behind him. Blake Delaney, Rob Carmichael. Sean McNamara is now back inside the top 10. Troy Maguire is, well, they've just traded positions. It was now Troy Maguire and Sean McNamara rounding out the top 10. But fastest lap so far in the race goes to Josh Thomas, still a 1:24.68. James Scott can't really do much. He's under immense pressure at the moment from Dylan Rudd. These two banging out in the V8 supercars in other weeks during AOSC and Scops. So they're going to be wanting to have a great battle tonight out the front and try and lose Kobe Williams to try and make this just a 1-2 battle between them. Not try and mix up another car for him. That will make life difficult. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've just had information from the man on the buttons. We're just going to see what happens if we stop the stream and then bring it back up. It seems to be an intermittent problem at the moment, so it could possibly be on our end. We don't want to go away from the action as Dylan Rudd is putting immense pressure on James Scott here as they come down the main straight. Can he get the toe? But hang in there. We're just going to see what happens when we drop the stream, so don't go too far, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll be back with you right in a